Welcome back everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. If you love discovering hidden treasures and everyday pocket change, then you are absolutely in the right place. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and talked about modern coins in circulation, the 2014 1-cent USA coin that some collectors believe could be worth as much as $432 million under extraordinary circumstances. It might sound unbelievable that a simple penny dated 2014 could carry a value so dramatically different from its face value of just 1 cent, but as you will soon discover, the world of coin collecting is full of fascinating mysteries, rare errors, mint mark anomalies, and once-in-a-lifetime possibilities. The 2014 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln Shield cent, was part of the ongoing series that began in 2010 featuring the Union Shield design on the reverse. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. At first glance, the 2014 penny looks completely ordinary. Millions upon millions were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and they entered circulation like any other modern cent. Most people would never give them a second look. They passed through hands every single day, dropped into jars, lost in couch cushions, or used in small transactions without a second thought. But in the world of numismatics, it only takes one extraordinary error, one dramatic minting mistake, or one rare production anomaly to transform a common coin into a legendary rarity. The difference between 1 cent and millions can come down to tiny details invisible to the untrained EYE.to understand how a 2014 1-cent coin could ever approach a theoretical value of $432 million. We must first understand how coins are made. The minting process begins with blank metal discs known as planchets. These planchets are fed into high-speed presses where dies strike the design onto both sides with immense pressure. When everything goes perfectly, the result is a standard coin identical to millions of others. However, when something goes wrong during this complex industrial process, rare errors can occur. One of the most dramatic and valuable types of minting errors is a doubled die error. This occurs when the die itself receives a doubled impression during its creation, leading to visible doubling on letters, numbers, or design elements. If a 2014 penny were discovered with extreme and obvious doubling, especially on the date, the word liberty, or I in God we trust, it could instantly become one of the most famous modern era coins ever found. Another possibility involves off-metal strikes. Modern pennies are typically made of a zinc core coated with copper. But imagine if, through a mistake at the mint, a 2014 penny were struck on a planchet intended for a completely different denomination, such as a nickel, dime, or even a foreign coin blank. The weight, color, and composition would be different from standard cents. Such transitional errors are incredibly rare and highly desirable. There is also the possibility of a wrong planchet error involving experimental metal compositions. Although the United States Mint has not officially announced any major composition changes for 2014, the Mint frequently experiments with different alloys behind the scenes. If a 2014 cent were accidentally struck on an experimental composition never meant for circulation, its rarity would be extraordinary. Collectors pay staggering amounts for coins that represent unique or near-unique mint mistakes. Then there are dramatic strike-through errors. This happens when a foreign object such as grease, metal shavings, or debris comes between the die and the planchet during striking. The result can be missing letters, distorted surfaces, or unusual textures. While minor strike-through errors are common and not especially valuable, extreme and visually dramatic examples can command significant premiums. Clipped planchets are another category to consider. This occurs when the metal blank is improperly punched from the metal strip, leaving a curved or straight missing section on the finished coin. Again, small clips are relatively common, but a highly unusual or extreme clip combined with other errors could create a one-of-a-kind specimen. One of the most exciting and valuable error types is the mule error. A mule occurs when two dies that were never intended to be paired together are mistakenly used to strike a coin. Imagine a 2014 Lincoln obverse paired with a completely different reverse design from another denomination or year. Such an event would be astonishing and would instantly make the coin one of the most significant mint errors in modern history. Mint mark errors are another area of fascination. In 2014, pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not use a mint mark, and at the Denver Mint, which uses a mint mark. If a 2014 penny were discovered with a misplaced, doubled, or missing mint mark inconsistent with mint production standards, it could create intense collector interest. Even more intriguing would be the accidental use of a mint mark punch from another denomination or year. There is also the possibility of brockage errors. This occurs when a struck coin sticks to a die and impresses its mirrored design onto the next blank planchet. Full brockages are dramatic and highly collectible. A full brockage 2014 cent in pristine condition could become one of the finest examples of a modern brockage error. Edge errors, though less common on cents since they do not have reeded edges, could still occur in unusual forms such as partial collar strikes. If the collar that holds the planchet in place during striking malfunctions, the coin could expand outward, creating a broad strike error with distorted dimensions. Now let us imagine the perfect storm scenario. Suppose a single 2014 penny was struck on a rare experimental alloy planchet, experienced a dramatic double die error, and carried an off-center strike of 50% or more while still retaining a full readable date. Combine that with a mint mark anomaly and pristine uncirculated condition. The statistical probability would be astronomically small. In the world of collectibles, rarity drives value. A coin that is one of one, especially from a modern era where quality control is strict, can create immense excitement. Collectors are often drawn to stories. The narrative behind a coin matters. If the 2014 cent were tied to a documented mint experiment, a production transition, or a historical event within the mint, its appeal would grow exponentially. Add media coverage, auction house competition, and billionaire collectors entering a bidding war, and values can reach staggering levels. We must also consider condition. Modern coins are typically saved in large quantities in mint state, but era coins often suffer damage in circulation before being discovered. A flawless 2014 era coin graded MS-70 by a top grading service would command an enormous premium over a circulated example. Grading plays a crucial role in valuation. Professional coin grading service and Numismatics Guarantee Company are trusted third-party grading services that authenticate and assign numerical grades. If a unique 2014 cent were authenticated as genuine and certified as the only known example of its kind, collectors worldwide would take notice. There is precedent for modern coins selling for extraordinary amounts. While $432 million would represent an unprecedented price in numismatic history, history has shown that when rarity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand align, records can be shattered. Another fascinating possibility involves missing clad layer errors. Although cents are copper-plated zinc rather than clad like dimes and quarters, plating errors can occur. A cent missing its copper plating on one or both sides can appear silvery. Minor examples exist, but a dramatic and well-documented plating anomaly with additional minting errors could elevate desirability. Rotated die errors are also collectible. If the reverse design is rotated significantly from its proper alignment, it can increase interest. Extreme rotations of 90 degrees or even 180 degrees are rare and highly sought after. Now consider the human factor. The United States Mint produces billions of coins annually. Even with advanced technology, mistakes can slip through. The rarity of a discovered error depends not only on how many were produced but how many survived and were noticed. A unique coin may have already been lost, melted, or damaged beyond recognition. Collectors searching rolls of pennies often discover minor errors, but the dream of finding a life-changing rarity keeps the hobby alive. The idea that a 2014 penny in your pocket could be worth millions fuels excitement and engagement. Speculation also plays a role in valuation. If rumors spread of a unique 2014 era coin with documentation suggesting it was struck during a secret alloy test, media coverage could ignite public interest. When demand surges and supply is virtually non-existent, prices can escalate rapidly. Auction,